So yesterday was just a straight mess, and yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I had a number of very interesting things happen from yesterday to today, and so I thought I would talk a little bit about it. I missed a day of glutathione yesterday. That is the first day I've missed in, I believe, the I've been on glutathione for what, 7 months now, or almost 8 months. Um, so yeah, well, let me see. I don't know. I'll have to do the math, but I'll have to do like an update video pretty soon here. But yeah, it was the first day that I missed, and I missed it because I introduced some food back into my diet that I have not had in a very long time, and my body had like a response to it, and so I don't talk about this a lot on my channel because really I really don't think about it though a whole lot. But if you've noticed, have you ever like gone on a fast food detox where you just won't eat fast food or you just won't eat out, and maybe you'll cook like a lot of things at home? Maybe you did this intentionally, or maybe you did this unintentionally. I did it unintentionally, not to mean that I was eating healthier at home, because sometimes I will make, pizzas, or I'll have like tater tots and, put sauces on them, and, like I'm not, or I'll bake cookies, so I won't say that like, oh, I'm eating healthier. I'm not eating out, especially if you live in the US, the food that we get from not even fast food restaurants, sometimes just like restaurants, it definitely is loaded with different, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to say like fat, but like it's loaded with different things that like even if I were to go to McDonald's in the US, when I'm in other countries and I'm eating McDonald's, like even the nutritional value, like the facts are different. Usually the fat content of just like a cheeseburger is lower than that of the same cheeseburger in the US at a McDonald's. Also, like the calories will be lower in other countries too. So our food, for some reason, we just have like a lot of crap in it. I don't know what, but anyways, so unintentionally I was not eating, and then all of a sudden it's fried chicken. Right, so I'm eating fried chicken. With glutathione, it is recommended that you try to stay away from I don't want to say very fatty foods, but they try to say foods that are like heavy in like preservatives, and like try to stay to a cleaner diet. I don't talk about it a lot because I mean, you guys see some of the foods that I post. I would not say they're the healthiest, but it is recommended. So jumping all of a sudden to, oh, I'm going to eat an entire dinner of, fried chicken, my stomach was not happy. I was in so much pain, and so it's kind of like what happens if you eat fast food for the first time after not eating it for a couple months. Your body like reacts in a really bad way because it's not used to it. So I had that happen yesterday, and so by the time it was time for my rectal syringe, when you're doing rectal syringes, you'll notice during the bile production phase, your skin will actually, or your stomach will like inflate. It'll bloat quite a bit, during that process until you pass, after you've held it in, of course, but until, you pass out whatever syringe, you've applied. So it was like I was already feeling like I was going to burst, and I really did not want to. I was kind of in pain. It was a wonderful meal, but at the end of it, I was just like so miserable afterwards. So anyways, I skipped it. And when you stop glutathione, now I've stopped glutathione I think about 3 times. The first was I started in 2019, I went till 2020, I stopped around March of 2020, and then I started back up in like August, September of 2020, and then I think I had maybe a false start for like the first week, and so I stopped, and then I started back up again, and then now I've been on it. So anyways, when you stop it, if you have issues with chronic fatigue, if you're the type of person to get tired midday, maybe not even midday, maybe just even around like the 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock time, you'll notice that that comes back. So glutathione, it's interesting because I wouldn't say like it's like a pre-workout or anything, but it just helped me stay awake longer without me realizing it. So my sleep schedule stays the same. And there's like studies on it that say that like it helps you sleep through the night better. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but I just noticed that I will not be as lethargic or needing to take naps or feeling like by 5 o'clock I'm dead and exhausted when I'm on glutathione. But when I was off glutathione, especially from March to August to September of last year, I was needing to take routine naps. You know, even after work I would need to take a nap. Yeah, like even no amount of sleep was like really enough. And so for some people, glutathione definitely is, I mean, if you look it up, you can look it up, like it's listed for chronic fatigue. So it's not just for people who are trying to boost their immune system. There's tons of other benefits. But if you stop glutathione, don't be surprised if the next day you're feeling just kind of like, I need a nap. You might actually give in and actually go take a nap, which who really has time for naps? There's always something to do. So of course this is a huge inconvenience for me, and then I'm thinking, why am I so tired today? And then I'm remembering yesterday I didn't do any glutathione. So I thought that was interesting that comes back. Would your body get used to glutathione and then always need it to stay awake? I mean, this question I think is a good one, but to be honest, even without the glutathione, I was already looking into so many different ways of boosting my energy. Either from, you know, drinking some type of caffeine, having, you know, coffee, to taking B12. Now that I've been on glutathione since September to August last year till now, I don't drink caffeine, and I can't really do B12 because it makes my face go insane and crazy and break out. But basically, I'm just able to sustain my energy all throughout the day, and so I think we can attribute that to not only glutathione but also the MSM, because the MSM will help you with your energy levels. But yesterday I didn't forget to take my MSM. I definitely did take my MSM yesterday, but I think it was just a missing glutathione. My body just feels just kind of off, and I definitely needed a nap today. And it was just, it's very weird for me to do that all of a sudden when I haven't done that for like over a year. Continuing on, I also had a new breakout, but also yesterday I did not drink my teas. I've been drinking a mixture of green tea and the spearmint tea every single day, and so I had a new pimple pop up, and that was within, but okay, the confusing thing about this pimple popping up was that I also yesterday I ate this little square of cheese, and a lot of you told me to stay away from dairy because it made your acne worse. And so I had been, if I was going to eat dairy, it would only be like shredded cheese, and I would just use like maybe half a teaspoon, just a little bit, like over scrambled eggs or something, and that wasn't even every day. So it was a very, very small amount, when before I was eating tons of cheese in my diet. So yesterday I ate an entire, you know, square of cheese, you know, one of those snackable squares, like some people eat cheese cubes. So yeah, within a couple hours this popped up. So honestly, it could be a mixture of not drinking the teas, or it could be just me eating me not drinking the tea, or it could be me eating the cheese. But whatever it is, it was just, I was so surprised that like this popped up so quickly. So I was like, oh, I'm doing so good, my skin is doing so good. I have one under the surface cystic acne bump. It's been there for the last like 2 months. I don't know what to do to get it to come to the surface, but this one being a new one, I was just like, ugh, I'm so over this. So, I mean, we could say it's from missing a day of glutathione, but I don't want to blame it all on the glutathione. Like, I messed up by eating that cheese. I knew when I unwrapped that cheese rectangle that it could be bad for me. And yeah, and then I missed the tea. I don't even know why I missed the tea. I guess I just didn't make more that day. But yeah, there definitely are things that you're going to notice if you stop, and you notice them fairly quickly. Even after today I took a nap, I still feel kind of just lazy, just lethargic. I'm definitely not as sharp as I usually am. There's also this thing where people who take high amounts of vitamin C to boost their immune system, all of a sudden, as soon as they stop taking the high amounts of vitamin C, they notice that they get a cold. Or some, you know, other type of sickness when before they were fine. This is something I think I've known about even since I was like in high school. Like, people had talked about that, like, be careful taking those, they're talking about like those little packets of the vitamin C, like the emergencies. Be careful about taking that every day, because as soon as you stop, as soon as you miss one day, yeah, people would get sick. So getting used to supplements and needing them in your day-to-day routine. I mean, I don't think there's any way around it, whether it's with vitamin C and then all of a sudden getting sick when you stop, or glutathione. But to be honest, you would have to have an issue with feeling lethargic and just tired, or being the person who needs extra sleep to start off with. I don't think for people who never had that issue to begin with, it would all of a sudden manifest. So if you are like one of those people who were taking the emergency packets like every day, like once those came out years ago, then you probably were taking them every day because you had been, you know, basically laid out on your back sick for multiple times throughout the year, and you're like, I'm gonna stop this, I can't have this happening. So it's kind of like people who say, well, don't do daily enemas or your body becomes used to it, like only do weekly enemas or something like that. So there's just a lot of interesting information on it, but I thought I would just share with you what I noticed. And I'm about to take my dosage. It's not evening time just yet, we're like 2 hours yet out, but I'm gonna take it a little early, just to get it into my system and to see if it can help. If you guys do have a day like I had yesterday where you're having, you know, some type of, you know, stomach pain, or, you know, you feel like you can't do your injection, sometimes what could help it, especially if the stomach pain is like a blockage, would be doing just a distilled water enema, just to clear out your colon and everything like that. An enema is using usually 2 to 4 cups of distilled water, whereas with like a rectal syringe, you can use any type of water and you're only using, you know, 10 milliliters or less. So it's not enough to clear out the passage. But if you guys are having those issues, then you could easily just do a distilled water enema and clear out the area. But you know, enemas, you have to have the time to do the enemas. So some of us just like want to go to bed with a stomach ache and just not worry about it, and that's what I did. And then now I don't have the stomach ache anymore, but I'm definitely paying for it for just not having the glutathione in my system.